Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God, it's him. Crank it, Jerry.
Nice look, Dad. Welcome back.
Good to be back, son.
Okay, we got squats today.
I want deadlifts.
We did deadlifts yesterday. Squats are up today.
I want deadlifts.
We did deadlifts yesterday. We got squats today.
I want deadlifts.
Okay, go get them.
Hell yeah! Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Dad Lifting. Thanks for stopping by. Back with another video. This one's going to be pretty chaotic. Got the SUV loaded up. Gonna head to the airport for our big trip. 4-hour flight to Texas, 5-hour drive after that in a probably smaller than this rent car with 5 people. So yeah, should be quite an adventure. I'll capture our crazy trip and some of the memories that come along the way. Can't wait. Got 350 grams of chicken breast packed in a plastic bag, which I will try to find a place to eat somewhere where it doesn't smell, because if you've ever had chicken breast and you open up the bag, it smells like crap. So I got to figure out a discreet place to eat that chicken breast along the way, and I got a Quest bar, and that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, can't wait. As long as you've got your dick, your wallet, and your cell phone, like my friends told me yesterday, everything else can be managed. So I'm gonna go manage that shit. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Federal regulations require compliance with all lighted signs, posted placards, and crew member instructions.
Here we are. Made it about 2 hours on the car so far. Got about 2 more hours to go. Here we are stopping at Starbucks. There's our rent car over there. We made it. Whew. Texas forever. Hey guys, so we made it. We're all unpacked here at my parents' house in the middle of Texas, the hill country. We dropped the boys off at camp today. It's been kind of crazy, just nuts, just packing up their trunks and stuff and then getting them over to the camp, unpacking it, going to the grocery store, which is, I don't know, 30 minutes away, getting a bunch of stuff from HEB, bringing it back. So it's been just a flurry of activity. And also I'm trying to kind of keep my wife away from the camera a little bit, make sure she doesn't see me filming too much. So I've stolen a few minutes here to chat with you, say hi. I'm out here. The problem that I'm facing is I'm really struggling to find a place to work out, to train. So I do have like some rings over here and like a kettlebell in this like sort of makeshift garage thing. And you know, obviously I can go for lunge walks around this place, but there's no like squat, bench, deadlift set up anywhere here. And so I've been trying to find, you know, maybe like 30 minutes away or maybe 20 minutes away, 7-8 miles away down this country road, there is a gym. So I've got to figure that out. But it's one of these anytime fitness type places, and it's open anytime, but first you have to sign up and you have to do that during staffed hours. So today's Sunday and I'm kind of frustrated. It's Father's Day. All I wanted to do was bench, squat, and deadlift all I wanted to do for Father's Day was do a full body workout, squat, bench, deadlift stuff. Actually, it was squat, overhead press, and yeah, it's just not happening today. So I don't know. So I'm lamenting that a little bit. I just got to be a little bit more flexible. I'm on vacation, got to move things around. So whatever. Maybe I'll find a way to get a workout in tomorrow, but it's probably looking like tomorrow afternoon because I got to do work in the morning. So I'm just frustrated because I wanted to get a good session in. I want to keep progressing on my program. But hey, what are you going to do? So I'm going to go do my lunges now and figure out next steps, I don't know, later. But anyway, happy Father's Day, everybody. This will be several days, maybe weeks after Father's Day when you see this, but who cares? I love you guys. I'll see you in a bit. So, I know I've been a little bit lax in recording any footage, but we've been here for 20 days. We're finally ready to go home. I've been cycling through the same 4 shirts for the last 20 days. I've been making a bunch of protein ice cream. We're packing this up, leaving it here for next time we come to Grandma's house. Okay, one more thing before we go. I am going to change hats. I'm gonna leave this one here. Had it for about 18 months. It's the dirtiest, ugliest, most worn out hat I've had in a while. So I'm gonna replace it when I get back home. In the meantime, the trip home, I'm gonna wear this Texas hat. So say goodbye to the Phillies hat. It's going in the trash can. First hat I've thrown away in more than a decade. All right, so I can't wait to get back to the garage, tell you guys all about the trip, where we went, how my training's going, how I managed to train while on the road, how I managed to not weigh myself for the last 20 days, and how I'm feeling about all that. But first, we got to get back to the garage. So through the magic of YouTube, we will be back in the garage when I clap my hands. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And we're back in the gym. It feels so great to be home after 3 long weeks in Texas. We made it back. Traveled safe, everything is as it should be, and I'm about to get after it in the gym tomorrow morning after some sleep. And then after that, we'll talk about some of the highlights of the trip. You know, I'll go through maybe a little slideshow. You know, I didn't do a lot of vlogging or whatever on the trip. I took a break from YouTube for a while, but I want to share with some of the fun times I had trying to stay on track with my training program, and then trying to stay on track with my eating habits, and then just some of the fun stuff we did as a family, and you know, maybe you'll get something out of it. Anyway, that's tomorrow. First, I am going to go to sleep like I mentioned, but then I'm going to weigh myself in the morning. It's been 3 weeks since I weighed myself. I don't know what I weigh at this point. Probably more than when I left, but how much more, I don't know. And actually the first weigh-in will be interesting because I've had a trailing average weight for, you know, several years at this point. And so without that trailing average, it's going to be tough the first few days when I just have the 1 data point, then the 2 data points, then 3, but to build up that average. And so it's going to weigh on my psyche a little bit if the number's really high on the first day. And that'll probably cause me to have a little bit more adherence to my diet over the next few days, which is probably a good thing, getting back on track. So we're getting back on track. We are going to be here in the gym tomorrow lifting some weights. But first, I'll see you guys in my bathroom tomorrow morning. It's the next day. Sorry I didn't bring you in the bathroom this morning when I weighed in. My wife was already doing work in the bedroom, so it was gonna be kind of awkward for me to film in there, get my reaction on the spot when I saw the weight. So I weighed in at 170.8 pounds, up probably 3, maybe 4 pounds from the average the last week before I left. So it's not too alarming, not too surprising. I did eat a lot of food over the last few weeks, had a good time, let myself go a little bit, and now I'm back. So shouldn't be too hard to lean out a little bit. 170.8 is healthy weight for me. I can still see my abs. I still have pretty good definition in like the upper chest area and things like that. I'm certainly not fat, but I do feel like I can gain muscle at a little bit leaner body fat percentage. So I'm gonna get back down, lean out just a little bit over the next few weeks, maybe get into the high 160s again, and try to build a little bit less fluffier from there. So just try to build some muscle mass and keep on gaintaining or whatever, and moving up the charts. But I think the body fat percentage got a little bit out of whack. I'm gonna try to rein that in a little bit over the next few weeks. How I'm gonna do that is by basically just cutting out the extra ice cream that I've been eating, real ice cream, not anabolic ice cream. You know, we got a lot of it in the house. We had a lot of it in the place I was staying at. We had cake for my son's birthday, cake for my daughter's birthday. You know, just a lot of sweets around July 4th celebration. So the sweets, I just gotta cut those out. And then the weight will be back where it needs to be, and I'll be back on track. Not a problem, no big deal. So I'm gonna get into, in the next segment, whenever I film it, you know, I'm sort of easing back into the YouTube thing. So I'm gonna film a few segments over the course of the next few days. I never really have enough time to set out a whole video. So this is how it's gonna be probably going forward. I'm gonna squeeze in a few clips here and there when I have time and try to weave it all together in a cohesive story. So yeah, I think next clip I'll talk a little bit about the trip, some of my takeaways, and some of my adventures. All right? See you guys. All right, so gonna try to recap the trip with this handy map of Texas. So first, we flew in, landed in Houston, picked up our sweet rent car, and we drove 4.5 hours all the way out to Hunt, Texas. Hung out there for a couple of days. Actually hung out there, yeah, for a couple of days, dropped the kids off at camp. That was a lot of fun. Then we were free. The wife and I were free. We hung out there for a day or two. Then I think we went to San Antonio first. We hung out, did the river walk, saw the Alamo. I trained at a fellow Instagrammer, like a friend of mine on Instagram. I trained at his garage, Vic. It was a really cool thing. I recommend you follow him. He's got a cool garage gym. We trained there, hung out, and then we drove back to Hunt. I think maybe the next day we went over to Austin for the day. And then we also went over to Fredericksburg. We hiked up the Enchanted Rock, which was awesome, super hot, but we did that. And then we went back to Hunt for a couple more days. And then I think what we did next, because we were looking for stuff to do, we thought about driving 13 hours up to Colorado, but we didn't go that far. We did just 6 hours down to Port Mansfield. We drove through miles and miles of wind farms. We drove through just a lot of boring countryside and a whole lot of like rainstorms, oddly. So we did that, hung out at the on the water, and we did some work for a couple of days. That was very, very relaxing. We drove all the way back to Hunt after that, worked out in Anytime Fitness a couple more times. Then we picked up the kids, and it was game on after that. So we went to San Antonio to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which was awesome. Then we went back to Hunt. We went to Austin for a couple of days. I think we hung out with some friends. We went to University of Texas, walked around there. We generally hung out and did some fun things. Went to a lot of our old places. We used to live in Austin for about 18 months, so we got to sort of relive some of that. Went back to Hunt, And let's see, what else did we do? We hung around and hunt. My brother came, we shot guns.
So always be prepared. You got it. All right, one more.
We did fireworks for July 4th. That was great. Hung around, did some other things in Hunt, Texas. Worked out at Anytime Fitness a few times. Just got soaked up a lot of the nature, went on a lot of hikes and things like that. And then it was time to drop my daughter back off at camp for her second term. And at that point, it was just me, the wife, and the 2 boys. We drove all the way back to Houston. And there we hung out for a night. And we went to Memorial Park. We walked around there. I grew up in Houston, so that was a lot of fun. And then finally got on the plane and flew back to Philadelphia. So it was a wild trip, one for the books, one for the ages. It was so exciting to be out and about with the family, with a rent car. I think we put 2,500 miles on this car in the course of 3 weeks. It was nuts. And we didn't go, all the way up to Colorado. We didn't even make it to Dallas. I didn't get to visit Jason Alexander Kim. I didn't even get to visit that many gyms, which is something I'm going to rectify this week when I go back to Austin to pick up my daughter. Back to Hunt to pick up my daughter. So I'm going to fly into Houston. I'm going to check out some gyms there and things like that. But there just wasn't that much time. And there wasn't a lot of freedom given that I had to take care of all the kids the whole time. But is what it is. Still a great trip and a ton of family time, ton of bonding. I did my 365th day of lunges out here in Hunt, Texas. That was a pretty epic thing to have done. I'm all the way up to 395 days, and by the time this video gets published, I might be done with lunges. But more on that in a future video. Anyway, that was the trip. Back on my YouTube game, trying to make it interesting with this giant map, which I have no use for, given that we all have maps on our phones, but it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for more sweet ass content.